Hi guys, and welcome to the Rapid Growth Weekly Vibes from the 9th to the 15th of November. Now, this week, it's going to be a little bit of a dance. We're going to be dancing between emotions. We're going to be dancing between stress. We're going to be dancing between intuitive insights and also aha moments. Now, let's start with the stressful aspect first, because what you might notice with this vibe coming in is that you're going to feel a sense of wanting to or needing to demand freedom. Okay, and you're going to want to take action to create that, to bring that in. And this need for freedom, it has a bit of a partnership, friendship, community, legal vibe to it. So it can really tap into any of these aspects where you maybe feel a little bit too confined, a little bit too trapped in. It could be that maybe it's asking you to compromise a little too much, and now you're like, your boundaries are being annoyed a little bit, and that's why you're feeling this sense of demand for freedom. It's like, well, no, that is actually a boundary coming forward. So I would highly recommend and suggest that you look at feeling where and how do I fit into this paradigm of what's happening, what I would like to happen, and which direction do I feel I'm being pulled in, because that's a little bit what it's going to be feeling like. So see which area in your life do you feel this need to demand freedom, where you feel like you want to demand a certain type of action, so that you can work out more of a compromise rather than being demanding. Because listen, this vibe is going to be hitting everyone, and what you ideally want, is to have a really nice compromise, meaning between you, a party, or a person, a community. But find balance between these two aspects is going to absolutely benefit everyone. Also, just keep in mind here that for this vibe coming in, because of the high levels of stress, if you have an addictive personality, be very careful of this week, because it can trigger, maybe like old addictions that you have, like addictive impulses. So just have an awareness of that. Like, especially in the past, maybe if you abused drugs, if you had an eating disorder, it can start to flare up a little bit again. That old coping mechanism, it can be triggered this week as well. So, and if it does get triggered, then it's going to also beg the question, where in your life do you feel out of control? And then ask yourself, if that's you, what step can you take to immediately, in that moment, take your control back? That is really what it's trying to tell you. It's not that the addiction is the problem. It's the emotional stress that's been hidden behind it. That is going to be triggered. And the addiction, that's just a symptom. Okay, so yes, deal with the symptom, of course, but let's look also at why you have that symptom, why you feel so challenged with that. Where have you lost control, and why did you lose control in the first place? What decision or action or step was missing that could have helped you to remain in control of whatever issue it is that triggered this old coping mechanism? So you do want to have a look at that, and you might actually have a final big breakthrough. You might actually have a breakthrough behind this long-standing issue that you have had as well. Also, another part that's going to be happening here in this week is when we look at our emotions, right? Our emotional desires, our personal relationships, you might find that politeness is not going to be among your qualities this week, but sincerity is. And sometimes there's a bit of a like, which one is better, politeness or sincerity? Politeness? I would always go for sincerity, to be honest. But then other people are so saturated with being treated rudely or in abusive ways that they'd rather have someone be calm to them and even not be sincere. But it also depends, what is your greatest need going to be this week? But just because this is now a vibe coming in, it means that you could be on the receiving end or on the giving end. It just really depends. So have awareness, be mindful of where you are at with this. But even though you have this vibe coming in for the sincerity, okay, even though that's coming in, deliver it with grace. Be sincere with kindness. Be sincere with compassion. Because that's really what's going to be happening. You're going to have maybe this burst of just wanting to say things as they are. Because yes, we all have our thresholds. Yes, of course, we all get fed up. But be mindful that it's done with compassion. It's done with the right intention. It's not done to be honest and then hit someone with like that sledgehammer effect, because it's not going to go down very well. This is already a volatile month in terms of emotions running high. So let's keep things calm where we can, but life can also still go on as normal. It's just a matter of let's stay within an emotional set of balanced approaches that we all can agree on and live comfortably with each other. Now, also there's a vibe coming in also this week that you're gonna feel a feeling of like, you know that feeling when you made a mistake and you kind of regret it? But this vibe also combined with the sincerity, it's trying to tell you, don't regret things that you've done with sincerity. Because yes, there's going to be, things coming up where you'll be like, oh my God, I wish I didn't do that in the past. You're going to have a bit of a remnants happening there. You're going to have a little bit of a thinking back at some moments in your life where you're probably like, I wish that didn't happen. I wish I didn't do that. But listen, if you did it with sincerity, then drop the regret. Drop it like a hot potato. Just let it go, let it be. It's just not going to serve you. Because ultimately, yes, you can have regret. But if your intentions were genuinely sincere, if you were really coming from a good place, then let it be. Just let it be. Because the energetic karma that you've sent out is actually positive. Even though you might not feel that way because of your emotional experience in that. Just be okay with that. And also, just another vibe here coming in with November is that we will also now start to try to find out how to defeat challenges effectively and successfully. It's almost like there's going to be a part of you where you will feel like, how can I overcome things and not just fight and, blather through it, but instead, how can I do that constructively? Because you're going to start to see where you have lost your energy in the past, and you're going to start to think smarter. Not harder, but smarter. And that is exactly what this vibe is also going to be supporting. So I really, really like this aspect of this vibe that's coming in. And also, most of the time here also, we're not always aware of our inner strength. We're not always aware of that. But this vibe is now going to show you and help you to discover that and to really, really let it shine. Because you do have power over your mind, not just, on things outside of you, which you will feel pretty much like, oh my God, this is not going to work. It doesn't matter what I do or say, I'm just not going to be able to influence anything. Well, the one thing that you can influence is your mind. And also here, since September, also the way that we've been seeing ourselves has been subconsciously been constantly reviewed by you. Whether you realize it or not, there's been parts of you that's been reminiscing. There's parts of you that's been, what is this all about? What was that all about? Why do I still need this? Why am I still maybe this way? There's a part of you that's been, critically thinking of these aspects, but not necessarily in a judgmental way, but more in a way of like, how can I reinvent myself? So, and the reason why you're feeling that, the reason why that is coming in is because this vibe is showing you that we need to start acting like the person we want to become. I mean, just having it in your mind, just having it as a dream, that's nice, but that's really all that it's going to be, which means it's going to become a pipe dream. So start to act like the person you want to become and make that now a reality. Because now and again, you're going to be feeling like, I can't do it, doesn't feel authentic to me. But no, it actually really is. It really is, because if that is something that you desire, that desire is coming from somewhere. And maybe it's because there's a part of you that's starting to have a sense of self-realization, because that's what this year is also all about. It's a wake-up call. So self-realization isn't just about what's happening in our environment, but it's also happening to us individually and how we're showing up. And are we being really authentic with what we think we are in terms of how we live our day-to-day life? Where have we been lying to ourselves? So this is a really great time to tap into becoming that person. And so having said all of that, guys, remember to join me for the next big vibes. And until then, be the light that you are.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me, and remember to grab your copy of Metaphysical Anatomy on Amazon, 679 medical ailments. And I also wrote about the psychosomatic root causes of that, and I'm spoiling it because I even added key points for you to start looking at important questions that you can ask yourself to start improving your quality of life. And also remember to catch me on Instagram, Evette Rose, 1 with the digit 1, and Metaphysical Anatomy on our Facebook fan page. Bye guys!